Hello, everyone. Yeah, welcome to today's session. Hello. Hey, well, welcome to Montessori with Tolulope. If you're excited to be here, say hoo hoo hoo. I'm so excited as usual every Sunday to have us join. I'm super excited to have us join every Sunday. And I want to tell you that today's speaker is one that has been coined for this session. Um, if you're online, I want to see your best emojis. I want to see your best emojis. Yes, we want to see your best emojis. Today is a great day. Today we're going to be speaking of one very important curriculum that is a basis for every other. A basis for every other. And I will tell you for one that is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very wonderful. Once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another inspiring session of Inside Montessori Tolulope. And this is week 6. This is week 6. So if you remember that you need to tell somebody about this session, don't hesitate. Do that right now. Do that right now. Do that right away. Do that right away. Tell somebody about it. And I'm pretty sure you are a blessing for doing that. Yes, thank you so much for joining in. We just have about 5 minutes to tell somebody about it. Tell somebody about it. This could be the solution for their schools. This would be the solution for for them, for their children as parents. This could be the solution, right? So I like you to tell somebody about it. Join us live. So I give us few minutes while we wait for our speaker, our guest of honor. Yes, I'm also doing the same. Tell someone to join us live and be rest assured that this session is going to be one that you don't want to miss. Hello. Hello, ma.
Okay, let me ask her if she can hear me.
Hello.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Good evening. Can you hear me, ma?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you now. So it's nice to be here today. I'm
I'm
honored
good.
to be here
How are you
today.
doing?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I hear you, but the network
Can you hear me?
breaking.
Can you hear me, right?
But you can continue. I can hear you.
Mm.
It's good to see your beautiful face.
And you too. Okay, so I hello. I know everybody can hear me and see me right now, but we're waiting for the host.
Hello, hello. Yes, really. I need to work on our network over here, and I believe that as we progress, the network will be there. Ma, so we're going to continue on everyone evening. Once again, thank you for listening to this journey. Speaker is was because of my own but hello, can we hear me now? Is it audible?
Should we go outside? That's of now, man. One, two, three, come on.
We are so sorry. The network today has shown us a lot of pepper. Yeah, so uh, I want to believe that we can hear me. If we can hear me and see me clearly, I want you to up again. Yes, I will bring us. She'll be back on. That issue was from my end, right? And so I want to start by thanking us for always being online every Sunday and for making it a duty to join us live every Sunday. And I believe that this has been as a result of we getting value. Well, I want to appreciate you for joining in. and I want to apologize for starting really late today. Please, if you can hear me and see me, I want you to do me the honor of responding that, oh, I can hear you. Oh, we can see you. Because it will mean a lot to me. Yes. Hello, Ma. You're welcome back. I'm so sorry. We usually, yeah. So I'm so sorry. Seriously, today's network, maybe because of the rain on this side, so the network is just playing hanky panky on me.
Right, so that John, sorry.
So if you can hear me and see me, I want you to put your best emojis. I want to put your best emojis. Ma, I will bring you up pretty soon. I know you can hear me on that stage. I will bring you up pretty soon. I just want to introduce today's session to us and then I'll bring you up. So Ma, stay patiently as I do that. Yes, today is a beautiful day, and I will say for one that the invited guest, like, I want to thank her. I want to appreciate her for this privilege, for honoring our request. This is somebody that is made for this topic. This woman is exceptional. See, that's when you say Montessori is breeding, when you say Montessori is passion, this is the person. And today, as you know from the flyers that have been going about, um, today's topic is practical life. This is day 6. This is week 6 rather. We've gone through different topics under Montessori. And yeah, you know that this is Inside Montessori, brought to you by Datoluminds Montessori International. And every week we have been demystifying different topics under the Montessori methodology. And some of us have been live here and we've been taking in one thing or the other, and that's why we are always here. So please give yourself a round of applause for being here. Thank you once again. So today, because of time, I don't want to take the time of our invited guests, and I want us to finish at the right time. Today, I am bringing to us a Montessorian par excellence. I'm bringing to you a woman of passion, an early um, childhood educator, an author, a Montessori trainer, and the founder of Avin Montessori Train Academy. Mrs. Anu Esther John is passionate, like I said, about child development and Montessori education. And we're privileged to learn from her experience and insight today. So, to everyone joining us, rather, parents, educators, school owners, Montessori students, and child development enthusiasts, we warmly welcome you. Thank you for being here. And I want you to get ready for an enlightening and transformative session as we see Montessori beyond the materials. So I'm going to bring up our speaker. I'm going to let her demystify the topic, speak to you today on the practical life. And we know as Montessorian that the hand is the tool for intelligence. She will be breaking it down to us in next 30 minutes. I want you to stay patiently and enjoy the session. Hello, ma'am. You're welcome. And now you are live. Thank you for honoring our request.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So I have introduced you, so I want to open the floor. I will be somewhere in the background, right? And so feel free to speak with us. I'm going to share your slide very soon, but I would like you to introduce yourself and continue from there.
Night to learn because the Bible says faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing so that we can know how to implement all this that we have been listening to. Because once you listen to some tips, some strategies on and on, it will give you an insight on how to implement and how to carry out those practical life experiences that you have been listening to. So today we are going to be talking about the hand in the mind.
Hello,
the
ma'am.
and and the mind of the two. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you clearly. We can hear you clearly, ma'am.
Hello, can you all hear me? So I have been given some things to talk about. That is the and is the tool of the mind. The and is the tool of the mind. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay. It means that children do not learn just by watching
Hear you.
alone. They learn deeply by using their hands. They do not learn only by listening or by watching alone. They learn by using their hands to explore. They learn by using their hands to carry objects. They learn by using their hands to pour. And while they are doing that, they are developing so many skills. They are developing what? So many skills. They are developing concentration skills. They are developing independence. They are developing control. So when a child traces sandpaper, it helps the brain to remember the shape. Let's take, for example, that a child is tracing a sandpaper. It helps the brain to remember the shape and the sound of the letter. When a child buttons up a shirt or transfer objects or builds with block, the mind is being organized and information is being sent through the sense. That is why Montessori classrooms are full of hands-on materials. Montessori classrooms are full of hands-on materials, and the child's hands help the brain to understand concepts. It helps the brain to strengthen memory. It helps the brain to develop focus. It helps the brain to build intelligence naturally. In my slide, you will see a particular boy. Can you hear me? I don't know if anybody can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello,
We
can
can
you
hear
hear
you,
me?
ma'am. Very well, ma'am. We can hear you. We can hear you, ma'am.
So
Very well.
practical life activities are foundation for intelligence. Yes. Practical life activities are foundation for what? For intelligence. And what is intelligence? Intelligence means ability to comprehend concepts easily, ability to comprehend concepts, ability to carry out simple life activities through experiences. Yes, that is what is called intelligence in my own way. Ability to comprehend concepts, comprehend ideas. That is what intelligence means in my own way. Ability to comprehend ideas, to comprehend concepts. When a child is constantly moving objects with his hands, is actively exercising his senses. Is actively exercising his senses. When a child is constantly moving objects through the hands, Montessori says the pathway to intellectual knowledge is through the hands. The pathway to intellectual knowledge is what? Is through the ends. What the end does, the mind remembers. It remembers. The heart remembers. Whatever you use your hands to do, you can never forget. Your mind will keep reminding yourself, oh, this is how I was able to do it. This is how I was able to maneuver. So when a child is constantly moving objects with their hands, that child is actively exercising their sense. Okay? When a child is constantly moving their hands, they are exercising their senses. Okay? So I would encourage us as parents. I know we have so a lot of people here as parents, as guidance, that we should always encourage that our children use their hands to work. Practical life activities, they are daily activities that we as an adult that we carry out every day. Practical life activities, they are activities that we as an adult we carry out every day. Just think, reflect for someone, just 1 minute. So just reflect and think about what are the things you do every day as an adult. What are the things you do every day as an adult? When you engage your children in this activity, it helps to develop their concentration skills. It helps to develop their concentration skills. It helps to develop their what? Their hand-eye coordination. And it helps to develop their fine motor skills, their gross motor skills. What is gross motor skills? That's the movement of the ends, the movement of the ends of the muscle. That is what is called the gross motor skills. So when your child constantly use their hands, all these skills will be developed. And some of these skills are the skills that help them in both life and work. Because presently in our economy today, people don't look at your certificate. They don't look at your certificate. They look at what your hands can do. They look at what you can do with your hands. If you bring somebody that have certificate and somebody that can actually use their hands, you realize that the person that can actually use their hands very well and work very well to produce results. Those are the people that they are going to be employed, not just bringing your certificate to the table. Because your certificate cannot sustain you for that job. It is the work of your hands that will sustain you for that job. And there's some skills you need to develop. There's some skills you need to develop at the tender age. When your children develop those skills at their tender age, it makes it very easy for them when they grow up, they adapt to it. Because at the age of 0 to 3 years, what we call absorbent mind, they soak up information in the environment. They soak up information around them. They absorb information. And from 3 to 6 years, it's what we call sensitive period. They are moving consciously. They are so conscious in the environment. They are very conscious of what they do in the environment. So, as an educator, as parents, we need to be very conscious of what we do in our environment because children see and they learn. They learn by seeing. They learn by doing. The hand is a tool of the mind. What the hand does, the mind remembers. Children learn deeply through movement because movement is part of developmental growth of a child. Movement is part of developmental growth of a child. What are the activities you can do through movement? You can go out for nature walk. You can go out for nature walk with your children and they learn. They learn through movement. They learn to what? Through movement. The hand connects experience to what? Intelligence. Like I said, intelligence is the ability for you to comprehend ideas, concepts easily. Because every day, new concepts, new ideas keep evolving. New things keep evolving. So intelligence is for you to be able to comprehend comprehend what is actually happening in your society, in your environment. So there are purposeful activities that help to develop this concentration skills that we are talking about. There are purposeful activities that help to develop coordination. There are purposeful activities that help to develop the senses of the child. Because the practical life activities prepare the child for the future, not just for today. Practical life activities prepare the child for life and work. Practical life activities prepare the child for life and work. Look at this picture. Look at this picture of a child pouring water. Please, can you show me? Yeah. What can you observe in that picture? What can you have observe in that picture? You can just say, oh, you should, the child is just pouring. No, the child is learning a lot, a lot. The child is learning precision, is learning measurements. Because now you're building the mathematical mind of the child by doing this activity. You're building the mathematical mind of the child. You're building a future engineer, like, yeah, by doing this activity, because the child is being focused. Their skills are being developed, patient skills. For you to be an engineer, you have to be patient, yes, because it has to do with practical life work, yes. If you want to be an engineer, you have to do with real life work, real life work. Yes, an engineer, they are all those engineers, they deal with real life. They don't deal with just theory, they deal with practical life. For production, they go to factory, they go to different places, and all that. So pouring is learning. The child is learning precision. The child is learning measurement. The child is learning concentration skills. The child is learning hand-eye coordination. The child is learning independence. And Montessori says that do not help a child with the tasks that the child can easily complete. Because when a child completes an activity, it gives them that intrinsic motivation. When a child complete activity, you as an adult, when you start a project and you complete that project, how will you feel? But when you start a project and you complete and you don't complete it, like you leave it halfway, you feel that there is something that is not complete in you. You feel incomplete. You feel what? Incomplete. But when you start a project and you are able to what? Finish up the project, there is this fulfillment that comes to you that, oh yes, I was able to start this project and I was able to succeed in it. Likewise, children, when they start a project and they can finish up, they are fulfilled. They are fulfilled. So the and what gives you the ability to remember things that you're doing. When I was in my let me say some years back in my school, all we do is theory, 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 and we don't really do practical life activity. Maybe, oh, we are talking about H2O, water plus oxygen, all those things. We need to see how those things are combined and how the results are being formed. We don't do that. But here, Montessori has made life easy because in a Montessori environment, you work with hands-on materials. You work with hands-on materials. You are exploring different materials. You as an adult, you are happy because you can feel, you can touch, you can learn, you can feel real life like an object. You can comprehend what the teacher is teaching you. As a learner, you'll be happy because learning is taking place. When the children have the ability to touch, to feel, to see, learning is taking place. Yes, learning is taking place. When they can feel, they can touch, they can feel real objects, they can see how they look like. When you tell them, oh, this is the continent globe, they see how continent globe look like. Oh, we have how many? We have this continent, we have Africa. Africa is green, they see the color, they feel it. Or we have Asia, or we have Antarctica, or we have Europe. They are seeing how it is being the shape of Europe. They are seeing the colors. They are seeing the animals that are in Europe. They are seeing the animals that are in Australia. They are not in Australia, but they are already having the feeling of how Australia look like. They are not in Europe. They are already feeling how Europe look like. They are comprehending. You are developing their intelligence. That kind of a child, when your child goes for competition and they tell the child, what's the color of Europe? The child will tell you the color of Europe. The child will tell you the color of Asia. The child will tell you the color of Africa. You can mention the animals in Asia. You can mention the food they eat in Asia, their culture. They're not in Asia, but they're already learning that in their own country. That is what we say learning is taking place. That is why how we build their intelligence. Even if they're not in the UK, they know what UK looks like because of the exposure we have given to them. We make learning real. We have to make learning real for our children. We have to make learning real. When you are teaching an object, when you are teaching a subject, you bring materials, let them touch. They learn by touching, especially for toddlers. They learn by touching. They learn by what? Touching. It
Hello,
builds
ma.
their memory.
Hello, ma. Please let me
It
know
builds,
when you want
they
to move to
remember
the.
things over and over and over again. Can you hear
Hello,
me?
ma. Yes, we can. Yes, we
You want to
can.
say
Please let me
something?
know. Yes, please. Let me know when you want me to move to the next slide so that it will be so convenient for you.
Hello?
Can you hear me? I said, let me
Hello,
know
can you
when you
hear
want.
me?
Yes.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, yes, clearly.
I should continue.
Yes, yes, please do.
Okay. Please, can you go to the next slide? Okay, why practical life is the art of Montessori? I think I've said this because it builds, develop the child concentration skills. Yes, it develops their concentration skills.
Is this okay? Should I continue to the next slide? Hello, I want to know if you can hear me. While we wait for our speaker to come back online, I believe that we have learned one or two already. While we wait for her to come back online, practical life activities are the one that gives leverage to the children in our care. It gives leverage to the children in our care. Is one strength of the Montessori methodology that cannot be taken for granted. While we wait for our speaker, she's coming back on. She has been telling us about the purpose of the practical life activities. She has been telling us about the efficiency of what it does to the intelligence of the child, what it does to the gross and fine motor, what it does to the skills. Straight for her. I want us to just ruminate on what we have learned. I want us to ruminate on what she has talked about. Practical life is one that premises on purpose. It wants to support the child, it wants to support the whole development of the child, not just the physical beauty or the amount of knowledge that they have. The hand, like she told us, are the instrument of intelligence. The hand is the instrument of the mind, is the tool for intelligence. If you want to know, if you want a child to be intelligent, then you have to know how to teach them and how to train their hands to work. Yes, it's very interesting, right? But I know that pretty soon our speaker will be back. So, what I was trying to say is practical life activities are the basics. In fact, some people regard them as one of the Montessori principles because it is only in Montessori that you see something like this happen. Our guest is back and she has the stage. Welcome back, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Welcome back. Yes, welcome back, ma'am.
So in the Montessori environment, we always observe and assess the children in the environment. So here is an observation report of, let me say, a child you would like to work with. We have the checklist. Why are we doing this? We want to know the progress of the child, whether the child is learning, whether the child is building that concentration skills, whether the child is building that focus skills, whether the child is building that gross fine motor control. So you can know if the child should repeat the activity or you should introduce the next activity to the child. Please can you go on to the next slide because of our time? Next slide. Okay, let me read my slide from here.
Hello. Okay. Hello.
It helps the brain and helps us
I
to
believe we are
understand
learning.
concepts.
So I want us to start drop learned from the speaker while we wait for her to get back. The network is really hammering us.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can't hear the network. Yes, yes, we can hear you now. You're welcome back, ma.
Okay, like I said before, can you hear me, please? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. We
Okay. So, like I said before, Montessori education It's not just about
Can hear you now. It's
working with
going on
activities
and
alone.
off.
We are building life. We are building characters.
It's
Because
going
when you
network.
get a job in this economy right
I
now,
can hear you.
your certificate
I want to
can
know.
get you the work, but your character will sustain that job. Your character will sustain that job. So we are building children with good character, how to be responsible, taking responsible for their own life right now at their tender age. And it comes with completing simple tasks. Yes, it comes with completing simple tasks. When you observe in a class that the child does not like to complete a task, it's something you need to deal with. It is something you need to deal with. There are some children, they walk halfway. They'll tell you, Ginger, I don't want to work with this material anymore. Can I change? No, you can't. You need to complete the task. Those are the checklists. I have this report here on the screen. Those are the checklists you need to look out for. Can the child complete this task? That is why we need to start from simple. Start from simple, then gradually you increase the task of the child. Remember, Montessori says we should work at the pace of the child. So don't say, but your mates, they're already done with 5 practical lives for this week. For this week, you have a task of 5 activities to work with. You just have to. That's fine. As long as the child can complete the task, it's a big progress. It's a big one. It's a big achievement. So we don't compare children in Montessori environment. We don't do that. We don't compare children. We allow them to work, and we ensure that they are doing their work at the time they are supposed to do it. If they need to relax, let them relax. If they need to take a break, let them take a break. Because you really understand your child. That is why observation and assessment is very important in the Montessori environment. As a Montessorian, your observation and assessment record book is like your tool. Imagine a farmer going to a farm without their tool. What are you going there to do? Nothing. I remember when I was doing my practicum in Green Springs, because I did my Montessori in Green Springs Montessori school. We have our practicum workbook. We have the details of the children we work with in a day. So they work with different curriculum areas. So we don't really rush the children. We don't really rush them. If they can complete three activities on the 3 curriculum areas, that's fine. As long as they can complete the task. So when we give our report, we see okay, this child needs to repeat this activity or progress to the new activity. So that's why it's very important for you to observe your children and assess them to see they're really growing. If these skills are really growing, if they are really developing these skills. Is that clear? The next slide. The next slide. Let me use my slide here.
It's Can we hear me? Okay. Hello, Ah,
So I don't
you're
know if
welcome.
anybody have questions.
Yes, ma, we do. We do. There are questions already dropped, so I will be asking those questions.
Okay, okay.
How are
Thank
you,
you.
ma?
I'm fine, thank
Today
you.
today has been a very interesting day.
Very
you know,
interesting.
I just have to laugh about it because I'm like, gosh, not today. Why are you doing this?
I think the weather here is kind of it's cloudy and it rained some minutes ago over here. So I feel the weather
Yes.
is not that favorable today
Yes, man, that's
because
the
of the
issue.
rain.
And because of the country that we are as well. So we don't expect less.
Yeah.
I was almost like, are we gonna do this thing today? The way the weather is actually. So my
Hmm.
some have dropped questions and I will just ask them right away because of time. Why did number one question is why did Dr. Maria Montessori place practical life before academic work, such as
Hmm.
writing and mathematics? In many of our contemporary schools today, you will hear people saying the child cannot write one, does not know numbers, and Montessori is quite different. So, why do you think that Dr. Maria Montessori placed practical life before academic work, such as writing and mathematics? You have the floor, ma.
Okay, thank you so much. Because like I said before, the activities we have in Montessori education, they are preparing children for life and for work. In our economy today, you see somebody with distinction and cannot defend it. You see somebody that is a mechanical engineer and they say, okay, come and do a practical work, and they can't. So practical life activities are activities that develop the skills that are needed for life and work. So we need to build that skills with concrete object, because
in Montessori environment, we work with concrete objects that we can feel, that we can see, that we can touch. We don't just count. It's not just about letters. It's not just about numbers. It's about building the skills first. And if you don't have um let me say, if you don't have something to back it up with, you can't really gain that experience. You can't. Experience come by touching. Experience come by feeling. It don't just come by cramming. No, you can't experience by just cramming, by just writing alone. You have to feel it first. You have to feel it for you to be able to comprehend it. That is why Maria Montessori actually encourage practical life activities first before writing can take place. Because there are some skills that a child needs to develop before writing can take place. You can't just give a child pencil to write. What is that child writing? That child is not yet ready. The brain is not yet ready. Have you developed the brain? The different skills that the brain needs to have, like concentration skills, you've not developed it yet. So practical life activities are activities that help to develop those skills that are needed. If that skills is missing, those skills, if they are missing, writing will not take place, reading will not take place. Even that's why some children nowadays they cram and they can't defend themselves. But when you work with real objects, you develop some skills that is needed, then you'll be able to comprehend. Like I said, intelligence is how you can comprehend ideas, concepts easily.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful answer. Like Maria Montessori said, she said, a child that is concentrating is an happy child. And
Yeah.
I'm happy that we know that without a child developing the skill of concentration, the skill of observation, the skill of being able to complete something from the beginning to the end, finishing a cycle of work is not going to be easy for the child to be able to continue with other academic work. Ma, the second question here is discuss, in many of our schools today, we always believe that writing, the child must know how to write to show that he went to school. So this person is asking that, tell me what indirect preparation that what are the things that practical life offer to help writing, to develop the skill of writing? Did you get that,
Okay.
Ma?
Yeah. So practical life activities itself, they are indirect preparation for writing. Do you understand that? Do you
Yes,
understand
Ma.
that?
Yes,
Practical
Ma.
life activities, they are indirect activities that develop the pre-writing skills. So, like I said, one of the pre-writing skills that a child needs is patience. Is patience. And practical life activities, they are activities that will develop your base. In fact, if I don't know if anybody is following me on my page in this group, I need you to see when my child working with activity. I need you to see when my child is engaging in foreign activity. I need to see when my child is writing. She just two. In fact, she just clocked two. But I started practical life activities when she was 1 year old. You can't believe that. Yes. I started activities with her while she was 1 year old. In fact, children, they have very low attention span. They have very low, they don't, even when they are writing, they are distracted. When they are doing tasks, they are looking elsewhere. In fact, because I already know that children have that low attention span. So I engage my child with a lot of activities that will help to build a concentration skill. For a child to write very well, the child needs to build concentration skills. Yes, child need to build concentration skills, because if that child is easily distracted, he can't write anything. He can't write anything. And the child needs to build hand-eye coordination. Hand-eye coordination. Ability to focus to what you're doing. To focus. There's a lot of children that they don't know how to be focused. It's not their fault. But when you engage them with all the activities, you'll be seeing the results. You'll be seeing the result. So practical life activities like pouring, transferring, coping, cutting, tearing of paper, scribbling. So for scribbling, you can give a crayon, you can give a chubby crayon. I have chubby crayon at home. I give it to my baby. She scribble on the wall, she scribble everywhere. In fact, she'll tell me, Mommy, I want to write. Mommy, I want to write. In fact, she can hold biro very well. Pen, she can hold it firmly. And the pen is kind of tiny compared to pencil or the chubby one. So practical learning activities, they are indirect preparation for writing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ma, for taking your time to answer the question. Ma, because of time, we just have two more so that we can release you. Thank you for your patience. Number two, from the topic today, this question came from, and the question was like, we said that the hand is the tool for intellectual development, is the tool for intelligence, right? So the question is that how
Mhm.
does practical life transform ordinary movement into intellectual development, ma? When they see, when they come into our classroom some of the time, or they see our children doing something, you see some of them say things like, why are you stressing this child? What is so special about this activity? Why would they? Is that work? Is that academics? You hear parents, especially Nigerian parents, ask such questions. So I want to know, how does practical life, especially people listening to us as school owners, we have school owners who are just encountering what Montessori really is, real Montessori really is. So this question is very important from them. How does practical life transform ordinary movement into intellectual development, ma?
So thank you for that
Just a brief
question.
answer. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
so it's actually when they are doing the activity, they are exercising their senses, yes, gaining experiences, and those are the experiences that will help in the future. Yeah, they're exciting their senses to be actively working, so that these children of nowadays, they call them digital people, digital children. They're not as they're very smart. They're very smart. They are called
Yes.
digital children.
Yes, ma'am.
So when they are doing this activity, you are exercising their senses. You are not dull children. Montessori children are not dull. I hear people say, Montessori is so they are doing smell smell. Sorry for my smell smell. They say what I don't know if anybody in the Yoruba say, oh she smell no more. No, oh she smell smell. You are teaching them how to be proactive. You are exercising their senses. If you call my baby now to give her tasks, she will complete it. Yesterday, we are outside walking. In fact, I was already done sleeping. She said, "No, I want to continue," and I have to take a video of her. I will still post that video on my face. I'm like, who is saying Montessori is not working? It's working. Our brain is actively working. Our senses are exposed to positive things. In fact, she swept it more than I could do. She swept the environment. She said, Mommy, I want to. She's just 2 years old and she went to the dustbin. The dustbin is kind of far away from where we're sweeping, and she went there to pour it. She came back again. I'm like, Zoe, you're just 2, you're doing this. Today she told me, Mommy, I want to cook. She was helping me to cut vegetables with her hands. She said, Mommy, I want to cook. Her brain is actively working. If you employ my baby in your company, she will deliver. That is what we are building. She would deliver. There was a day I saw her, she was transferring cheese ball. She poured all the cheese ball outside on the chair. She was transferring them one at a time. I said, this girl, she are going to work in a factory. You work in a production company because you're helping them to package his board. Like I'm like, and she learned that through transferring exercise. That's how she learned it through pouring exercise. Picking because when we do transferring and maybe something's split on the floor, I will tell her pick it up, transfer it back. Make sure you clear up your space. So she learned that picking of materials from that exercise. So why are you telling me that your child will not? Your child is learning life work, real life work, real life work.
Yes.
Your child is learning to be
Yes.
proactive. Your child is learning to do things on their own independently. Your child is learning to be an adult in the future. And we are starting from now. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma. That answer was so beautiful. So I'm going to make that the last question. But before I do that, But in conclusion, I want to say thank you, Mrs. Anu, for this opportunity. Now, you are here as a school owner, you are asking this kind of question. I know that you are among us here. Now, I want you to know, just like she has said, you see, all of those activities are not just activities. They are activities that are developing these children indirectly. You see, every purposeful activity in the like I always say, everything in Montessori classroom has a purpose, and the purpose is for the child's development. The purpose is for the child's all-round goal, right? So, and you see things like pouring, like Mrs. Ano said, spooning, polishing, bottling, all of this require concentration. It requires reasoning, it requires sequence, it requires judgment, it requires order and control. So through this activities, through this movement, you see, you will be building the neutral pathway that will support thinking, reasoning, and problem solving. And all of this is intelligence. So you see, there is beauty in practical life activities. So, and I believe that from what you have learned today, you are adding that into your classroom if you are not a Montessori school. And if you are a Montessori school that is semi-Montessori, we have explained that in the second week. They are semi-Montessori schools. Well, I don't know much about Montessori, but I cannot this one. I just wanted to do half of Montessori. Add
Please don't
the
do half of
practical life.
Montessori.
Exactly.
Don't
You
do
hear
half
some
of
of them say,
Montessori.
you hear
Don't
some
do,
of
let it
them
be
say that.
complete.
Yes, and I've always told people, if you're going to do it complete, get a proper training. If you're going to do it complete, get the knowledge. Don't just copy, you just see online, you just see people doing it, and the next thing you're adding
There
it
are
to your
lots online.
classroom.
You'll be confused. You'll be confused.
Exactly.
You'll be confused.
Exactly. And then you see some of them will now add it practical life to their activities, and they will record it. That's the activity. But there is more to it when you allow your children engage in it day in, day out. And if you are a parent, like Miss Anu said, don't stop your children from engaging in activities. They may look like chores, but you see their executive functioning skills, their reasoning, their mathematical mind, their concentration,
It's
every
even building
skill
their
they
leadership
need.
skills. It's building their leadership
Exactly.
skills.
Exactly. Even the movement from left to right. There's a way we do it in Montessori classroom where you move
Uh,
from left to
Prepare them
right.
for writing.
Exact, and reading. So it is very important that you don't do away with practical life activity. You add this into your classroom. So we're going to end this session today. I want to begin by, please, wherever you are, give my speaker a round of applause. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you. We had
you.
a
I'm
lovely
glad to
session
be here.
today. We are
Thank
so
you.
happy to have you.
Thank you so much.
I want to wholeheartedly appreciate you, Ma. Thank you so much for such a profound, enlightening, and transformational session on practical life, the tool of intelligence. Ma, thank you for pouring out from your wealth of knowledge and experience so passionately.
Thank
Your insights
you.
have
Thank you.
reminded us that practical life is beyond ordinary activities. It is truly the foundation for concentration, independence, coordination, discipline, and the intelligent child. Thank you for honoring this platform and for educating us. There are parents here,
Thank
there are school
you.
owners here, there are educators here. We are deeply grateful for your time, your wisdom, your dedication to Montessori wisdom, and to everyone who has joined us today. Thank you. Thank you for being a
Thank
part of this
you.
beautiful learning journey. This is week 6, by the way. We hope today's
Mm-hmm.
conversation inspires all to observe the child differently, prepare your environment intentionally, and trust the child's natural path of development. Until next time on Inside Montessori with Tolulope, keep nurturing your child, respecting your child, and believing in the limitless potential within every child. So have a wonderful and peaceful evening. Thank you so much. I see you same time, same place next week Sunday. Thank you, Mrs. Anu, and greetings to the family.
Thank
Have
you.
a lovely time,
Bye.
ma. God bless you. Bye,
Amen.
ma. Thank you so much.